Welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Monday Night Raw review for the date of May. What date is it? What date is it? I can't even remember. This Monday Night Raw has me so goddamn blurred. Memorial Day, May 29th. There you go. May 29th, 2017. This Monday Night Raw, I'm not even gonna give you the proper intro, bro. I'm not even gonna give you the proper intro, bro, because this Monday Night Raw, bro. Jesus Christ, if there is a reason that Monday Night Raw, that I come on here every single week and complain about Monday Night Raw, it's shows like this. God damn, bro. You sit here for 3 hours every goddamn Monday and watch this piece of garbage, barely being able to stay awake, and you just say, God, why the hell do I even bother with this program? And I understand why I bother with this program, because it's wrestling and it's the top tier. You need to understand that it's Monday Night Raw. It's programmed in your brain and my brain by this point that to tune in to Monday Night Raw, and 9 times out of 10, bro, we're getting a terrible show. Abysmal quality show. Jesus Christ. Just another boring, lackluster, formulaic, mediocre, unoriginal piece of garbage Monday Night Raw. Just nothing to appease anybody on this show. It was your go-home show here tonight to WWE Extreme Rules. It felt like a go fucking get out of here, bro. Get out of here. We don't want you here, bro. I mean, I don't understand how the people in this arena were not sitting on their hands the entire night just falling asleep, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. Just a terrible show here tonight. But you're watching the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and this is not a terrible YouTube channel, I'll tell you that much. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Just last week, we uploaded Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews. If you want to go check those out, Monday Night Raw was terrible last week, terrible this week, just terrible every single week is Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, Smackdown saves us tomorrow night. But we also uploaded Behind the Mic last Saturday, so make sure to go check that out. Behind the Mic, we're talking about the plans for Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship reign, so make sure to go check that one out as well. Very good stuff there. We're also covering all the other news going on in the wrestling world, continuing to talk about Matt Hardy and how his trademark for the broken gimmick got denied, and all this other news, so make sure to go check that video out right there. But we are talking about Monday Night Raw here tonight. I don't even want to be talking about Monday Night Raw. I want to be in my bed sleeping after this goddamn show, because Jesus Christ. And this is one of those shows where you saw some illogical booking, bro. Some illogical motherfucking booking on this show, bro. I cannot excuse this show. Usually, these shows are just bad because they're unoriginal, nothing interesting is happening, they're boring. But on a booking standpoint, I'm asking myself, who the hell booked this show? Because this show has been more retarded than any of the other Monday Night Raws we've seen in months. Jesus, this has probably been one of the worst years for Monday Night Raw in a long time. And we've seen a good Monday Night Raw in 2017. The last good Raw, and I mean good Raw that I can remember is after WrestleMania. Besides that, it's a blur, bro. It's all one nasty blur. You just can't remember one week from the other. It's just terrible garbage. I mean, god damn, bro. goddamn, whoever booked this show gets a goddamn F. Because, I mean, what we saw here tonight was awful. And last week, I gave you a little rant on why this show was terrible. We're talking about how the times have changed, and there used to be competition in the wrestling industry, and now the monopolization that WWE has over the wrestling industry is transpiring, or it's equaling to lazy booking, and that's just part of the reason, because when there's no competition, nobody is thriving for success, really. But I mean, here tonight, I just have no energy to give you one of those rants, bro. Because this show was absolutely terrible. And, I mean, you're trying to enjoy your Memorial Day. If you're trying to sit down and watch Monday Night Raw over your Memorial Day and just chillax, drink a nice little beer, a cold beverage, I mean, you're not getting that tonight, bro. If anything, you're going to drink a cold beverage and be out by 10:30, bro. Because that's the way, hell, 10:30, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, Jesus Christ. Terrible goddamn show here tonight. But let's start the review, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. Make sure, if you like what you're hearing here, to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe. For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into the Monday Night Raw review for your date of May 29th, 2017. We're almost in June, bro. We're almost in June, but they were live here tonight from Greenville, South Carolina. Miz started off this show here tonight, and I mean, first half an hour was centering around the feuds of Miz, Dean Ambrose, and the Hardys, and Cesaro and Sheamus. So let's talk about it. He comes out for Miz TV. He says that the It's couple is feeling good because this Sunday, Miz gets his hands on Dean Ambrose. He calls Ambrose a lying, cheating thief, reminding us of the kick to the crotch that Ambrose gave him on their match that they had a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks, I believe. Again, it's a blur to me. It's a blur, all these Monday Night Raws. But he repeats how he went to Kurt Angle and made the match so if Ambrose gets DQ'd, he'd lose the title, showing us what happened in the match with Elias Sampson last week, saying that on Sunday, he will win the Intercontinental Championship. He then finally welcomes his guests, who are Cesaro and Sheamus. Miz talks to Cesaro and Sheamus about how they scratched and clawed to regain those tag team titles until the Hardys showed up and just kicked them down a peg. Sheamus said that the crowd is all about the new toy and at Extreme Rules they are going to break that toy. Miz says that the crowd doesn't realize what he did for the IC title, and that's why at Extreme Rules, the Intercontinental Championship Reunion Tour will continue. Dean Ambrose comes out saying that he doesn't always make the best decisions, but he sees these three buttheads out there, and he couldn't help but come out. Miz tells Ambrose to do the math, and that's when Dean Ambrose brings out the Hardys to even the odds. Obviously, this breaks out into a brawl, and the typical garbage opening to Monday Night Raw. This guy comes out, the next guy comes out, interrupts the guy who was already in the ring. Rivalry, blah, 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 blah. Match announced, and that's exactly copy and paste formula. That's exactly what's been going on Monday Night Raw as of late. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Here's your intro. This guy comes out, he spews a couple words, gets interrupted by the next guy, couple more superstars come out, make their entrances, crowd gets a little pop, and a match is announced for later in the night, or for right there when we come back from commercial break. Same copy-paste bullshit. Can you do something different for once, bro? No. Same crap here tonight, the Hardys and Dean Ambrose. And why can't we ever start with a match, bro? Why can't we just start with a match, like, at least once, bro? I don't understand that. Why can't you just come into Monday Night Raw, we're straight into a match, with guys making their entrances, we're starting off with whatever match it is. They already had matches announced before the show, so why didn't they just put that triple threat on first? Why didn't they put that triple threat on first, start the show hot? But no, you need to start it with some bogus segment. I don't even know. But the Hardys and Dean Ambrose versus The Miz and Cesaro and Sheamus in a six-man tag. This was pretty good six-man tag, but again, the same formulaic crap we see every single week in a six-man tag. Standard for what you would expect with everyone getting their spots in, but in the end, the Hardys and Dean cleared the ring. Matt hit a twist of fate, which looked more like a neck breaker, which was a neck breaker pretty much. Jeff hit the swanton, 1, 2, 3. What happened after was the thing that intrigued me. Corey Graves, and I thought this was a shoot. No, it was a work, but Corey Graves, we hear the announce team, they're giving their explanation for what's happening later in the night. Cole, he goes over to Graves, and I thought this was a work. Graves was on his phone during the entire little speech that Cole was giving, and then Michael Cole went to Graves, and Graves was just like, excuse me, and he says, I'm sorry, and he walked away from the announce table, bro. He walked away from the announce table, so I'm like, oh my god, did something happen to Corey Graves? Somebody in his family died? Was there a family emergency? No, when we come back from break, we find out this was all a work. This was all a storyline here tonight. This was all a storyline, because after the break, we see Kurt Angle on his phone reading the message, which he didn't read out loud, unfortunately. Graves kissing up to Angle. He says that he respects Angle as a general manager and thinks Angle is running a well-oiled machine. Angle asks him how he got that information. Graves says, I don't know. People like to tell me things. And the most interesting thing that Kurt Angle said here was that if this is real, if this message was real, which we don't know much about, if this is real, this could end him. That's what Kurt Angle said. So this was pretty crazy. This was pretty crazy, and probably the only intriguing thing going on Monday Night Raw. Probably the only thing that they're trying to build suspense around, that they're doing something different with. Because I legit thought Corey Graves had a family emergency or something. I was thoroughly intrigued in what was going on there. Something that I cannot say for anything else on Monday Night Raw right now. And I don't know why that is, bro. I should be saying that every single storyline on Raw right now has me saying, you know what, I want to watch that match. But right now, going into, Extreme Rules, I don't care for any single match. Yeah, sure, I want to see the Fatal 5-Way. Sure, it's going to be pretty newsworthy. But besides that, what's the point, bro? What is the point of watching Extreme Rules? We go to Elias Sampson versus some jobber called Zach Evans. This was pretty good. Elias Sampson looks very, very promising. This looked absolutely brutal, did this match here. And part of that was, I think Zach Evans is an indie wrestler, but he is pretty good at selling. He was a good seller. He made everything Elias Sampson did look brutal. He literally picked him up with one arm and slammed him into the mat, did Elias Sampson. He spiked his head into the apron multiple times, Jesus Christ, and Evans' head bounced up and down, looked absolutely brutal. He, in the end, he hit that swinging neck breaker, and the way Evans just popped his butt up, the way it looks just brutal. And there was a point in this match where Elias Sampson hit an uppercut on Evans, and he snapped his neck back, and his back, he was on his knees. He put his back all the way back to the point where his neck or his head almost hit the mat, which looked absolutely brutal. So pretty good seller was Zach Evans, but Elias Sampson looking pretty promising here. Looking very, very dominant after this match is what I can say. He looked very, very good. Sure, it was against a jobber here. Sure, this match wasn't looking, he didn't have very legitimate competition, I should say. He didn't have very legitimate competition, but his moveset and the way the crowd is responding to him looks very well. He was actually playing his guitar before this match, and he gets heat for playing that guitar. I like his guitar skills and the way he sings, but he gets heat for playing that goddamn guitar, so let him do him. So I like it. Elias Sampson with an interesting match here tonight. Samoa Joe was interviewed saying that he is preparing for the match against Balor and he's studying and analyzing his game. Tonight is a match between a devil you know and a devil you don't know, and he knows Finn Balor. He's broken Finn Balor, and he will do it again. As he mentioned, Bray Wyatt. Wyatt actually appeared on the Titantron, introducing himself, trying to look all scary. I'm over this crit. I'm over this scary Bray Wyatt crap. Ever since he lost the WWE Championship to Randy Orton, I really haven't been able to get back into Bray Wyatt, because everything he says, every feud he goes into, there's no investment there, bro. There's no investment with any feud he goes into. And, I mean, that's just the case for me. There's no investment there, because every feud he goes into, he walks out the loser. I don't think there's a single feud that Bray Wyatt has won, or a single legitimate feud that has been long-term. His feud with Cena, lost. His feud with Orton, lost. His feud with Reigns, lost. His feud with I think he beat Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose is the only guy he won his long-term feud against. But every guy Bray Wyatt goes into a long-term feud with Undertaker at WrestleMania, lost. Every guy that Bray Wyatt goes into a feud with, it's a L. And at this point, the legitimacy, he's 0-3 at WrestleMania when he should be 3-0 at WrestleMania, or at least 2-1. I would have given Undertaker that win. But, I mean, really makes no sense to me. Bray Wyatt, just no legitimacy, if I can speak here. No legitimacy there at this point. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. I don't care anymore. I don't care. That's just what I gotta say about that. But he said some crap, saying that introducing himself as the devil Joe doesn't know, saying that he knows Joe as a generation of warriors with pent-up frustration, but he will take down the beast, and he will take down Joe, and they will all run. So the same goddamn promo he cuts every week. Who cares? We got a Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe versus Bray Wyatt. This was actually a pretty great triple threat match, showing the dynamic between Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, which was very interesting. It was very interesting. They worked together on Finn Balor for a lot of the match, until Finn, he went and did this series of moves, drop kicks at the barricades, sling blades here, there. But the match ended when Wyatt hit Joe, or the beginning of the end came, when Wyatt hit Joe, or this is, what am I saying here? This is how tired I am after watching this show. But the beginning of the end here came when Wyatt hit Joe with the huge clothesline, which allowed Balor to take advantage, and then he went on to these huge series of moves, hitting both men at the same time. But in the end here, Wyatt hit his sister Abigail on Samoa Joe, allowing Balor to hit the sling blade, corner drop kick, and coup de grace on Bray Wyatt. But Joe came running in. I don't know how the hell Joe got up from Sister Abigail this quickly, but I don't mind it. I mean, it's Samoa Joe getting a win. It's Samoa Joe getting a win, so I don't mind it. But as Balor was getting the cover here, Joe came running in to break up the pin, throwing Balor through the ropes into the LED ring post and pinning Wyatt for a big win here tonight against in this triple threat against Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. So I like it, bro. I like it. You're having Samoa Joe go into this triple threat with momentum. I like it. Is he going to win? I don't think so. Do I wish he would win? Of course. I would love to see Samoa Joe win. Probably the only guy who can legitimately in this match, besides Roman Reigns, because the way you've been building him up, I mean, Roman Reigns could take out God at this point. Jesus Christ, the way WWE has portrayed him on television, and we'll talk about that and what happened in the main event, which was absolutely terrible. We'll talk about it, but I mean, Samoa Joe going into Extreme Rules with some momentum. I like it, bro. I like it. Is he going to win? Again, no, but I like it. That's all I can tell you. I like it. Seth Rollins is interviewed about his match with Roman Reigns, saying that he's gotten to know Samoa Joe quite well in his feud with him on Raw, but if there's anyone he knows well on Monday Night Raw, it's Roman Reigns. Whether it's through the Shields or fighting for championships, he says the first thing he knows about Roman Reigns is that every time they're in that ring together, it's a war. And the second thing he knows is that Seth Rollins owns Roman Reigns. He says that he's taken his knee, which used to be his greatest weakness, and made it into his biggest weapon. And just like he's going to do to everyone else in that Fatal 5-Way, he's going to beat Roman Reigns. So just another basic-ass promo from Seth Rollins. I still don't know who Seth freaking Rollins is. Who the hell is that, bro? Who the hell is that? There's no personality in Seth Rollins' face character. Turn this guy back heel. I mean, that's Monday Night Raw for you. Nobody, no face is going to have any type of personality on Monday Night Raw. I mean, look at Roman Reigns. They still consider him a face. Reigns is bland as the next guy. Even Finn Balor, if you look at it, bro. Even Finn Balor is completely generic at Monday Night Raw. Meanwhile, you look at Smackdown. Look at the faces they got. AJ Styles. There's personality there, bro. There's personality there. Look at Shinsuke Nakamura. There's personality there, bro. There's personality there. But I see no personality in Seth freaking Rollins or Roman Reigns, for that matter. So, and these are supposed to be your top baby faces. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Just another generic promo from Seth Rollins, and quite frankly, I don't care. Noam Dar and Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks and Rich Swann. Should I even talk about this? This was a terrible match. Ended in 2 minutes when Sasha Banks got Alicia off of the apron and Swann hit the inverted 450 splash, which they didn't even get on camera until they showed the goddamn replay. Absolutely despicable, bro. Absolutely despicable. But after this match, Sasha Banks started dancing ridiculously in the middle of the ring. Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus Christ. She started dancing with Rich Swann ridiculously in the middle of the ring. This is the boss, bro. This, or at least this used to be the boss. This used to be Sasha Banks, the legit boss, kicking ass in NXT, taking names, NXT Women's Champion, making little girls cry, bro. And what's she doing now? Dancing in the middle of the ring, looking like an absolute fool on Monday Night Raw. That just goes to show you the garbage, bro. The garbage that Monday Night Raw makes you into. Just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. The Revival were on Raw. Probably one of the best parts of Monday Night Raw. The Revival were on Monday Night Raw tonight, which put a wonderful smile on my face. And they were interviewed about the reason why they weren't on Raw last week, showing Wilder's wired shut. So why they haven't been on Raw they were interviewed on why they haven't been on Raw for the past several weeks, showing Wilder's wired shut jaw. The attack on Enzo Amore was brought up, with the Revival saying that they haven't been on Raw in 6 weeks until they show footage from a Sasha Banks interview last week where the Revival was seen walking in the distant background, which I didn't notice, walking around. They then retract their statement, saying that they have been on Raw every week doing their job. I find this very interesting. And then they said top guys out. I find this very interesting because a feud with Enzo and Cass and the Revival could be made into some great goddamn television. This could be Enzo and Cass's best feud since arriving to the main roster since last year. Since arriving, Enzo and Cass have done jack, well, I don't want to say it, but shit, bro. They've done jack goddamn shit, have Enzo and Cass. They haven't done nothing. So if they do go into a feud with the Revival, which the Revival at this point denies, I mean, I don't know, bro. This could be very, very good television, because I know the Revival will bring the best out of Enzo and Cass. I mean, they did it in NXT. Well, I mean, probably because the writing in NXT is 5,000 times better than what you see on Monday Night Raw. But, I mean, if we do see if we do get to see the Revival and Enzo and Cass relived on the main roster, I would love to see that transpire. But for now, this seems to be still culminating, because Big Cass actually came to the commentary table after this when Corey Graves insinuated that Cass may have attacked Enzo, confronting him and actually yelling at him. He says, "Oh, did you just say that I would attack the person I care for most? Blah, 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 blah." Corey Graves acted like a pussy here. Really disappointed in Corey Graves. Thought Corey Graves would be more manly, but no. Kind of like a pussy here. And Corey Graves had a big night on Monday Night Raw tonight. Corey Graves had a very dramatic night on Monday Night Raw tonight. 2 segments, bro. Corey Graves becoming an important figure on Monday Night Raw. Good for him. But that's besides the point. I would be glad to see Enzo and Cass versus Enzo and Cass versus the Revival. That would be a great feud. But we go to Titus O'Neil versus Kalisto. Awful crap here. You know how Kalisto beat Apollo Crews last week? Well, Titus O'Neil, he's like, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Grab the tights. 1, 2, 3. Beat Kalisto. Who cares? I don't. Do you? I'm sure you don't either. So let's move on here. Alexa Bliss. This was the worst segment of the night. I'm just gonna break it down for you. This crap was cringe-worthy. We probably haven't seen a segment this terrible on Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna say since the old day. That's how terrible this segment was. Jesus Christ. This was absolutely terrible. This is Alexa Bliss's worst segment ever in the history of her WWE career. Even Alexa Bliss, who is fantastic on the mic every single week, was so goddamn cringeworthy here. It wasn't even funny. Jesus Christ. Alexa Bliss comes out for some sort of explanation. I don't even know. Celebration. I don't even know what she was out here for. But she says that nobody could imagine. She explains the match they're having, first of all, at Extreme Rules next week. And she says nobody could imagine Bayley inflicting pain on Alexa Bliss, reminding us of her failure last week to pull the trigger with that kendo stick in her hands. Alexa Bliss does a Bayley, "This Is Your Life," showing us Bayley's first doll. She shows us a trophy for sportsmanship and Bayley's yearbook where she was voted most likely to apologize. Jesus Christ. And every time Alexa Bliss said, "This is your life," oh my god, my ears would bleed. That was so goddamn bad. But I mean, Alexa Bliss here brings in some people from Bayley's past, including Bayley's 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Flapper. I kid you not, Mrs. Flapper, who said Bayley was a really nice girl with perfect attendance, always sitting in the front row next to her father, who would apparently come to school with her because they couldn't be away too long. If you want to portray Bayley as a goddamn pussy, you did exactly that in this segment. Jesus Christ, bro. Mrs. Flapper, bro. Mrs. Flapper. I wish somebody would, flap some common sense in Kevin Dunn, Vince McMahon, anybody writing this show in their face. I wish they would flap some knowledge on how to book a wrestling show, because this is terrible, bro. This is terrible. But she talks to Bayley's old best friend, Tracy, saying Bayley was the nicest girl ever. She was so nice that people would take advantage of her, and Bayley would never hang out with her to stay home and watch Monday Night Raw and Smackdown. She brings in Bayley's ex-boyfriend, I don't know his name, who asked Alexa about Alexa asked about their first date, saying it was okay, but Bayley would always bring her father everywhere. The crowd was chanting delete, and this is boring. I was chanting, please end this, goddamn it. But I mean, this was terrible, bro. This was terrible. Where was I? This segment took a turn for the worse, bro. when Bayley's boyfriend, old boyfriend, and Bayley's best friend, he tells Bayley's old best friend that he only dated Bayley to get closer to her. So you're telling me, bro, where's the common sense? This is where your illogical garbage comes in. You're telling me that this guy, this idiot, bro, and this is a small detail, but I'm just nitpicking, because this is absolutely ridiculous. You're telling me that this idiot got and dated another girl, bro. He dated your best friend to get closer to you instead of directly asking you out and just dating you? What? Oh my god, bro. Absolutely terrible. You can't even make common sense out of that. They then start kissing. She says, oh, I like you too. And they start kissing. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Is this what passes for humor in the WWE? This is exactly what is wrong with Monday Night Raw. They're always looking for the entertainment instead of the wrestling. And they forget that the wrestling brings the entertainment. There's a reason why the W comes before the E, and it's because wrestling should come first, and wrestling should bring in the entertainment. It's not WEW, and that's what it sounds like. That's what it goddamn feels like. WEW. World Entertainment Wrestling, because the entertainment comes first, and they even fail at that, bro, because this was in no means entertaining. But the entertainment comes first, and then you see a little dosage of wrestling at the end, bro. A little dosage of wrestling. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Bayley then finally comes out and starts attacking Bliss, trying to grab the kendo stick from the pole, but Alexa knocked her down and got a stick from under the table, this table she had there where she got the doll and crap, and she got a kendo stick and struck Bayley with it. So there you go. Absolutely terrible goddamn segment featuring Mrs. Flapper, Bayley's old boyfriend and old best friend making out, and Alexa Bliss's cringeworthy "This Is Your Life" segment. Awful. Awful, bro. And if you're wondering why Monday Night Raw puts people to sleep, right? Jesus Christ. Enzo was once again laid out here tonight. He was on the floor just taking a nap, bro. With Cass believing it was the Revival, Kurt Angle came up saying that he personally saw the Revival leave the building, with Cass believing that they could come back and could have attacked him then, saying that all he knows is that Enzo has been attacked 2 weeks in a row, and he wants answers. So that's what Cass is saying. Hopefully it was the Revival, and hopefully we do see a feud with Enzo and Cass versus the Revival, because that would be pretty awesome. When Dash Wilder does heal up, hopefully by next week he has the wired shut, or the wires removed from his jaw, because I know it must be a pain in the ass, bro, not being able to talk. Absolutely terrible. For 6 weeks not being able to communicate. Goddamn, what would that feel like? I do not know, but it sounds terrible, and I myself am dealing with the cold, if you did not realize, and I feel terrible. I could barely do this video, bro. Imagine Dash Wilder not even being able to communicate for 6 goddamn weeks. Nonetheless, me with my little cold here, with my little sore throat here, and I'm feeling terrible. Imagine Dash Wilder. Jesus Christ. That just shows you that this is a pretty dangerous sport. Not being able to talk for 6 goddamn weeks is Dash Wilder. But we move on here to TJ Perkins and Neville versus Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher. We continue with the idiotic decisions on this goddamn show. There was a terrible decision here to have Neville tap out and take his first L since returning to the goddamn Cruiserweight division. Neville was going to lose the title, I thought at least. Neville is going to lose this title within a goddamn week. He's probably going to lose it on Sunday. You're telling me, bro. You're telling me that Neville couldn't have gone a week more without losing his undefeated streak? Jesus Christ. He's been undefeated ever since returning to the Cruiserweight division. But no, WWE is that idiotic. They're going to throw the bullshit in your face that hard, bro. Neville taps out. He doesn't even get pinned, bro. He taps out for the first time since returning to the WWE in January and entering the Cruiserweight division. Dumb ass decision there. Terrible decision. We then see him in the back when we come back from commercial break, and he's being asked if his loss for the first time since joining the Cruiserweight division, as I get a notification here, let me turn this off here, the ringer, but he's asked if his loss for the first time since joining the Cruiserweight division concerns him, and he just grunts and walks away. So even Neville's as pissed off as we are. Jesus Christ. That's what I was probably doing when I saw that happen. But terrible decision. We see another Shattered Dreams production with Goldust saying that this was great, bro. Goldust is putting on some great segments, but we see another Shattered Dreams production. I love old Goldust. This is great. But he says that we all have those moments where we go a little mad, but it takes a long time for you to finally snap. He says that he is finally back in the director's chair, and R-Truth knew the truth, that his light shines too bright for him, and Truth tried to steal that spotlight. He says that the ending won't be sad, it won't be happy, but it will be golden. Then we see R-Truth with his ridiculous take of the situation. I don't even know what he called this. I just wrote down R-Truth then appears with the R-Truth Productions, saying that he's coming for Goldust, and Goldust is going to get got. I don't even know what he said. He was saying something about how in his neighborhood the movies inspired him, all this garbage, but who gives a crap? So R-Truth, I cared about what Goldust had to say. What Goldust had to say was interesting. R-Truth was just a cheap knockoff version of the Shattered Dream Productions. I think these guys are probably going to go on to the pre-show. I would love to see them on the main card. They would probably put on a decent match. I mean, Goldust is pretty decent in the ring, and with segments he's been putting on as of late, I think he should be put on the main card. But that is besides the goddamn point here tonight. We move on to the main event here, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and it was a good match, bro. It was a good match, but it was a shitty result. If there's a reason not to like Roman Reigns, you seen it in this goddamn match. There was a point in this match where Reigns got power bombed into the turnbuckles, bro, and he still was able to hit a Superman punch. Absolutely despicable, bro. Absolutely despicable. If there's a reason not to like Roman Reigns, you've just seen it. Absolutely awful. Oh my god. In the end, Reigns and Rollins trade blows. Everybody's going crazy in the crowd. What a good match. Rollins tries to hit his finisher with that knee, but Reigns counters, hits the spear, and of course, because the spear is the all-immortal maneuver, 1, 2, 3. You know, bro. You know you just seen a shit Monday Night Raw when Roman Reigns closes with the victory as the superhero babyface. Seth Rollins was just another victim, bro. And that's all I've got to say. Another idiotic booking decision. Roman Reigns going in to Extreme Rules as the victor here. He's beat Finn Balor clean. He's beat Seth Rollins clean. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he went on to beat Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt clean on 205 Live and Smackdown tomorrow night. So, Jesus Christ, absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible Monday Night Raw here tonight. I will see you tomorrow for your SmackDown Live review. WWE Extreme Rules preview and predictions coming on this Thursday, so make sure to stay tuned for that, as well as a review of WWE Extreme Rules this coming Sunday after that show airs. Of course, Behind the Mic on Saturday. Probably going to be covering all the news, if there is any news, going in to WWE Extreme Rules. For now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the channel. Last week, Raw review, Smackdown review. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button with the spear, because apparently a spear is immortal in the WWE, and it's probably immortal on YouTube too. YouTube ain't gonna randomly unsubscribe you like they love to do. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's been your Monday Night Raw review. Had to give the show a rating 2 out of 10, bro. 2 out of 10. Absolutely terrible goddamn show. Oh my god, hopefully this show gets better, but then again, don't get your hopes up. For now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. I hope you enjoyed everything you heard here, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.